In news earlier this week, New York City has lifted its vaccine mandates, and that means one Kyrie Irving can finally hoop at home for the Brooklyn Nets. We've seen him play on the road. We've seen him hand out buckets on the road. We've seen a couple 50 balls go up on the road. How do you think these new lifted mandates, just in time for the playoffs? Playoffs be here in a couple weeks. Um, what are y'all's thoughts about this decision and how it affects Kyrie and how the Nets may improve with KD and Kyrie at home?
I think the whole mandate thing was stupid. It didn't make no sense because you got people sitting courtside that's sitting right next to the bench. They don't have a mask, and you got different cities that got different rules as far as mask, no mask, all that kind of stuff. So I think it was more political, trying to show a political stance per se. And I think by them lifting that whole mandate, that's gonna. Hey, that's almost my dog. Come on, man. But I
Chapo.
think I think them lifting that mandate from New York City, it's definitely gonna enhance, Brooklyn's chances of making a run in the playoffs because with him, with Kyrie and KD, both of them can score at will. So, and I feel like the kind of how they've been on the road, it's been kind of spotty, but you can see that there's this promise there. So now that I feel like that they can play at home now together, I think that's really gonna, going into the stretch of the playoffs is really going to build more cohesiveness between them two and the team going into. So I think by them lifting the mandate is obviously a good thing, but I think it was a little too drawn out and a little too stretched to me because again, like I said, a lot of other cities didn't have that mandate and no one had any reports of COVID. So it was just weird to me, but kudos to them though.
Yeah, man. Kyrie stood on what he believed in, and at
Facts.
the end of the day, I mean, he won really. I think the Nets they definitely this definitely increases their chances of winning if they can get Ben Simmons to play basketball because that's the one thing that they missing. They need somebody that can play some defense, but yeah, I think they got
Can
a
shoot.
really good shot. But as far as the mandate being lifted, do you know what is also around the corner and probably why the mandate got lifted? The start
Moving
of
on.
baseball season, and there are
It's crazy
multiple.
how I'm saying I'm bad, I mean cut you off, but it's crazy how all this stuff is kind of like coming right after another. It's like fitting perfectly.
Hmm.
I'm not trying to say conspiracy, but
It ain't no conspiracy. Listen,
It's a
baseball
CON
baseball is
spirit.
America's pastime. The Yankees is America's baseball team. The Yankees have star players on their team that are not vaccinated, and yeah,
ah,
in New York, we know who's usually at the top of those corporations in New York. They not playing with that. They
it's too much
need
money.
exactly. I need a return on my investment. So that law had to get passed.
I think that's fair. I will play devil's advocate only to say population density, right? In the city of New York, right? Population density. Whereas a lot of other places are more spread out. But I mean, you got people on subway cars standing next to who's who going into work in their office. So in that regard, I could see it. For the Kyries, like, I mean, I guess you could say kudos to him, but like we talked about this earlier when we first started doing our shows. Of all the things to stand on, you're gonna go against what we know to be true and good for the sake of public health to make a point to align with people who may not have your other best interests at heart. We'll leave that there. I mean, I'm glad he came up, and then let's not act like Kyrie ran away with the bag. Like, nah, your paycheck was cut in half, homeboy. So, if you can withstand, can you stand the rain? We've all seen BMF. If you can hold true to yours, and accept the financial losses that come with it, and you still come out being able to do what you want to do, then cool. However, who's to say they wouldn't be the 1 seed if things were different sooner?
I tell you this. It looked like Kyrie, like just like you said, some of his money was taken. His paychecks is maybe a little lesser, but maybe he's at a point in his life where he's made enough money to where he's made businesses that's making him money, residual money. That's, you know what I'm saying. So by him earning more money by playing at home rather than standing for something that I believe in. And remember, your perception is how you view everything, and everybody's not going to view it how you view it. And some people just stand on certain things and like they'll live and die by it, no matter whether there's money involved or not. Because again, I'm sure he's a smart enough dude. He's I don't think he grabbed it from Duke, but in order to go to Duke,
he went to Duke for half a semester.
That's right. Well, maybe I don't know if he might have like graduated like behind closed doors or something, but nah. But at the same time, though, I think you don't have to graduate college to be a smart intellectual individual. Nope. So I think how he's moving is almost like, and I could be wrong.
He was batting real hard for the earth being flat. Let's not.
That's it, but that's his perception. Like, we can't.
You could disagree. Right, like, so he stand on everything.
Right. So it's almost like I don't have to agree with it, but I respect that he's going hard for what he believes in. So whether his money got cut in half or not, imagine if he would have flip-flopped. Now it's like, oh man, I knew he wasn't about that. Like, but now his character is kind of flawed. But since he's stuck through it and got all the backlash, and now he's able to play, it was bigger than money. It's more about principle. Like, this is what I stand on. Right. So now, right. So at the end of the day, I agree with both of y'all. I agree with Shaw because he stuck to his guns, and in that right, he won because it seemed like he's a person that is bigger than what's in front of you. It's a bigger picture. And on top of that, Tone, I agree with you also that you don't want to compromise your image and your money to get a point across, because at the end of the day, you got bills to pay and you got a legacy you want to leave around, behind. So what do you want to have? So both of y'all ain't wrong. So again, different perspectives, so it's crazy. Right. And everybody can be right.
I just look at it in the context of Aaron Rodgers, right? We heard so much about Aaron Rodgers, and in comparison, we heard plenty about Kyrie too, but it just seems like Aaron Rodgers got way more flack than Kyrie did, and they both had the same stance. But I think Aaron Rodgers kind of lied though.
Exactly. Aaron Rodgers tried to deceive us. Aaron Rodgers tried to deceive us. Kyrie told us what it is. I'm not taking it
from jump.
Vaccination,
I'm immunized. I'm not
vaccinated. Yeah, I'm immunized. But what you mean by that? Was it R. Kelly? Was it R. Kelly interview? He's like, you like teenage girl? Like, what you mean teenage?
What you mean by teenage?
Right.
Jeez, what you mean you ain't vaccinated? Nah.
I'm immunized. I'm not vaccinated, but I'm immunized.
I'm
immunized.
Oh, boy. Hey, man.
It is what it is.